all
Okay.
the typical ways we do it.
All right, good. I have no other questions, and I would like to open up for public comment. I have someone going to charge up here. I believe it is identified as Kenji Yamada. Kenji, you got a blue card? And then Natalie, too?
Thank you. Kenji Yamada, Concord resident. First, I just want to thank Vice Mayor Obringer for bringing up the concern about data going to ICE. I'm glad the police department intends to review practice and policies in cities that have police body cameras already, and also that policy is going to be formed through a public process with public input. That's very valuable. I wanted to offer just at this early stage some ideas about what some of the policies should be based on what I see recommended by organizations that have looked at this issue. One is that whatever the policies end up being regarding retention of data, access to it, and activation and deactivation of cameras, those policies should always be made public to be reviewed by the public after they are formed, as well as during the process of forming them. Second, that officers should be required to make their initial reports on use of force before viewing camera footage. And I'd like to read a quote about that from a paper on the subject by the Cato Institute. It says, after a use of force incident, it is important to gather evidence of how the officer involved felt up to and during the incident. If an officer is allowed to view body camera footage before making an initial report, no one will ever know for sure what the officer's actual recollection of the incident was. This is especially important because of the legality of a use of force incident depends in part on what the officer thought was happening at the time. Such policies, and that is policies allowing officers to view footage before making their reports on use of force, such policies could further undermine public confidence in police accounts of use of force incidents, since the public may come to doubt all police statements relating to such incidents, believing them to be attempts by the police to absolve themselves of blame. It is important to remember that lawmakers and law enforcement agencies are not asking that citizens view body camera footage before making a statement, despite the fact that members of the public, like police officers, might make a statement contradicted by video footage, unquote. The third policy point I'd like to recommend is that members of the public who allege police misconduct should be guaranteed access without charge to relevant footage. And fourth, that there should be a prohibition on the use of footage or data derived from footage to monitor the activity of individuals without a warrant issued by a judge on probable cause. I'm referring to the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution here, of course. Tracking people for whom there is evidence to suspect crime is, of course, totally legitimate, and it should be pursued with a warrant issued by a judge on probable cause in compliance with the Fourth Amendment. Thank you.
Okay.